I'm the founding director of the Educator Collaborative, and thank you for being here with us. So what I'd like to share with you tonight are the variety of ways that you and your colleagues and perhaps even your school could learn with us through the Educator Collaborative. We are a literacy professional development organization that provides literacy services on-site in schools, K-12, as well as a variety of ways that we can connect with you and your colleagues online. So we're really going to look at a variety of ways to support your own professional learning in literacy. So the first of those is our on-site professional development. So all members of the Educator Collaborative can come work with you at your school or your district. It's described inside of our 2018-2019 professional services brochure. I'll show you an example of this here, and that will be posted to the TheEdCollab Gatherings webpage where I'm speaking from right now, and it also will be available on our main website. So in our professional learning guide, you can follow along as well. Also, if you are a New York State educator, the TheEdCollab is an approved CTLE sponsor. So any work that you do with us, the hours that you learn with us during the school day, or the work that you do with us online during the 2018-2019 school year, we'll be able to provide CTL credit for you. So inside of our brochure, we have some information about who we are and our research basis, which you can share with colleagues and leaders at your school. So let's take a look at our in-school professional development services. So all of the work that we do together in school is built upon best practices in literacy education, as well as best practices in adult learning. We at the TheEdCollab don't just provide consulting in schools and classrooms. We also are a think tank ourselves, continually learning and studying together current research in our field and developing cutting-edge practices that can support you and your colleagues in any of your school's growth goals in order to support your school's growth. Here's a photo of our book ambassador, Joellen McCarthy, working in a school. And she's currently inside of what we refer to as our lab site and meeting sessions. So as you can see right here in this first step, when we work with a school or district, the first thing we do is learn about your school's goals. Then we work together with your school leaders and any other stakeholders, perhaps the leadership team or teacher leaders that you have, to help you refine goals for the year. One thing that we know about professional learning is that if learning tries to take the work you're already good at and completely change everything all at once, that just leads to a lot of headache and heartache for everyone. So what we believe at the TheEdCollab is that it's important to follow the advice of Dr. Michael Fullen, who suggests for organizational change and growth to happen, it's best to first locate the things your organization or school is already really good at, and then align new initiatives to that. So what we'll typically do when working with a new school is have those early conversations to see what's the path that you and your school have already been on, what are the things that you already are really good at, and where are the places you'd like to go next. And then in a conversation with experts, we share our expertise, you share yours. Together, we and your leaders, and again, perhaps other members of your school, make decisions about what's the best to focus on to lead to the most growth. So for example, when we've worked with schools that would like to bring in reading workshop to their practice, what we might do is first look at things like independent reading, unit writing, and the structure of a lesson. So it's more based on reading skills than it is based on books. So instead of focusing on everything, we might just have a few foci in that way. Or if we're working with a school district that wants to implement more independent reading practices, then we might look at strategy-based teaching, and we might just study together the ways that we can infuse strategy-based teaching into lesson design. Or if we're working with a school that says, can you please help us rethink our writing instruction, what we might do is support you in demonstration writing and conferring for the start, and then each year build a new pathway from there. So I feel it's important to help you focus on fewer goals that everyone can revolve around and do their work around. So then if we look back at our picture here of Joellen in a classroom, a couple additional things that we do. So one big part of our work is lab sites and meetings when we work with schools. So instead of just like talking in a meeting room somewhere or in the auditorium, we think it's really important that we're hands-on in classrooms along with you and your colleagues. So we'll typically work with small groups of teachers, usually several throughout the day. They could be based on grade level or they could be based on topic that we're studying. And we'll typically go into classrooms together, demonstrate practices, and then have some time to meet. The meetings might come before or after, depending on what we're working on. During that hands-on time, you and your colleagues will observe one of us demonstrating a technique. But then one thing we feel is important is that you don't just watch us passively, but instead right away while we're all there together, you practice. So if, for example, we're conferring in front of you, we then will invite you and perhaps a partner colleague to confer with students too. Or like in this example, as you see Joellen doing a read aloud in front of the classroom, we might, at a meeting before, set up some read alouds that you could do with a small group of students. Watch one of us demonstrate some effective practices for read aloud in front of the whole class, and then invite you to work with a smaller group of students, perhaps alone or with a colleague, to do a little bit of read aloud yourself. We find that time really important because you get to get feedback from and learn from not just us, but the other colleagues in the school, in your school. Excuse me. One thing that we believe strongly in is that every school is a group of professionals. We don't believe that we're coming into a school in order to like give you the answer, or we're not coming to your school in order to tell you the way things should be done. Instead, we believe and trust in every member of your community. We know every one of your colleagues brings strengths and passion to the work that you do. We all chose this profession for a reason. So we purposefully set up our time together to elicit conversation, team building, and coherence together. So our lab sites and meetings are one example of that. We see them as a time to involve one another inside of inquiry, not just to like tell you how to do stuff. Excuse me, I should not have eaten some pistachios before I came on here. I apologize. So that's one of a few things that we do when we work in schools. We also find it important to continue with these other three. So during some point in almost every long-term relationship that we have with a school, we'll engage on one-on-one coaching sessions. We find this important for everyone in the school building. Those usually don't happen early on. They happen after several sessions of lab sites and meetings and other types of support. But it's an opportunity for you to not just be in someone else's classroom with us, but for you to be teaching inside of your own classroom, or if you're a leader, to have your staff working inside of their own classrooms with their own students. And we'll go one-on-one throughout the building. This helps us respond to any of your individual needs from the work that we've been doing together, and also allows us to give you feedback. With that feedback, probably our favorite feedback of all is giving you compliments. That's really what we all like the best about one-on-one days, is that we're able to visit you in your classroom, usually for about 20 minutes to a half hour, see you doing some of the practices that we've been working on together that year, and then just let you know how much we love what you're doing. We try to make that feedback specific and supportive. Then at the end of the day, after visiting everyone, we will usually meet with leaders to talk about some of the higher level trends that we saw. We do think it's important that those one-on-one meetings are really a time for feedback and conversation, and you can ask us questions and we can ask you questions. That really feels like collaborative learning and kind of learning between colleagues. We do not want that time at all to feel like an observation. So when we give feedback to your leaders at the end of the day, what we don't do is go like one by one through the list and say, well, this is how this person did, this is how that person did. Instead, we really then think about larger trends in the school to support building leaders and coaches and thinking about next steps of support, but also to celebrate the work that everyone's doing. Again, at the TheEdCollab, we believe when we enter schools, we're entering a community of professionals, a group of learners, and we want to be able to highlight both what next steps we believe would be helpful for your growth, but also really to celebrate the work that you have been doing together and that you're doing individually. That really feels key to all of the work that we do. Additionally, we provide leadership support. We know that building leaders are essential to the work that happens inside of any school. And so during almost every one of our visits, we'll always make time to work with building leaders to think about next steps in curriculum, next steps in planning PD and between the visits that we're there, and also just providing leadership support and mentoring as well. Additionally, we understand that sometimes it's helpful to have longer times to just kind of deliver and discuss content or practices. So if we have opportunities to tack on like an after school session because your schedule works in that way, like here in New York City, every Monday for the past several years is a professional learning time. If we're working with a school in New York on a Monday, we like to just stick around for the after school time. We don't charge anything additional for that. We just think it's an important time to be together and share high quality professional development while we're visiting your school. We also are available for more traditional workshop days, like Election Day in many schools is one of those times, or President's Day, so we can come for all or part of a day. So again, this entire packet here, our professional learning services guide, will be up on our website as well as up on the gathering page that you could view there too. But just to say briefly, we're available for this on-site learning anywhere from 1 to 12, sometimes even more days. It depends on the schedules of all of our consultants. We do suggest a minimum of 6 days. What we do not want to do is just come to your school once, do something fun, and leave, because we know that that's not the best investment in the giant investment that you're all making. When you partner with any learning and organization, including the Educator Collaborative, we know that you're making an investment in your budget. Even more importantly, you're making an investment in your time. Teachers are leaving classrooms for part or all of a day. We're disrupting the regular flow of things. We know in some schools that means that your colleagues are covering for you. That's painful. That's not a simple thing. And so we want to make sure that if you're investing in us, or frankly, if you invest in any learning organization, that you're not just having us for a day or two, so it's kind of a sit and get PD. Instead, we follow best practices in research and adult learning, and especially in school growth, that really it can take up to 30 hours of professional learning together in order to grow and change practice. So we make it a priority to really allow our schedule and to set up schedules with schools that have long-term relationships with us. So there's a range in the offering fees for those. There are inclusive fees that cover any sort of travel, and that's really dependent on the staff that you hire, the location, and the number of days. And so the cost of those typically range between $2,000 and $4,000 a day. If you or leaders at your school or others that they're in charge of these decisions speak to us, we can help you find the right budget. In order to contact us and contract for on-site professional development, you can go to this link right here, educatorcollaborative.com/content contact. There you can fill out a form, or you're also feel free to call us at any time. So now let's talk about our online offerings. Our on-site offerings are really school purchases. We don't expect any individual teacher to use their budget to pay for us to be there. These are really typical and regular professional development services that schools tend to hire. We just want to make sure that you're receiving high quality versions of that, and that's what we hope to provide. But now we'll move over to online professional development, which still is offered to schools, but sometimes are purchased by individual educators. So there are a variety of ways that you can learn with us online. We're going to share with you 3 that are for fee, and then we'll share just a couple that are free, including the gathering, which is tomorrow, or you might actually be watching this session at the gathering right now. So the first of these is our study series. If you have not joined our study series before, our study series is a series of 12 web sessions that are available online. They are presented live on Wednesdays throughout the year. They typically happen at 11 a.m. Eastern or at 6 p.m. Eastern for 1 hour. We have them during those 2 times for a couple of important reasons. One is that the Educator Collaborative audience is global. We have friends that tune in all around the world. So a daytime session for US schools at 11 a.m. is actually a perfect time to watch in the evening for our friends who are joining us overseas. And hi to those of you that join us during that time. Another reason why we offer them during the daytime and the evening is that it allows school groups some opportunities to watch together. One seat in the study series, when you purchase that, comes with a what we call a share your screen with your team license. We not only offer, but we suggest that you share that session with anyone else from your school, and frankly, could be everyone else from your school, by gathering around your computer screen or by watching them up on a large screen by projecting them. We know of coaches, leaders, lead teachers, and just colleagues in departments or grade levels that have purchased all or some of our study series sessions each year, and then we'll watch them together with colleagues. Like we have some friends in the Chicago area, some coaches that watch together. We have some friends in Wisconsin on a grade level team that watch in the library sometimes. We have coaches in Connecticut that will show it during after school professional PD. We have some coaches in the South, I think it's in Georgia, I want to say they are, that will show to teams of teachers for part of a lunch and learn. They're just a way that you can share together. Something that we plan to be new in 2018, 2019, which is why we haven't made our study series public just yet, but will be public by mid-June most likely, is we're working on a new ability for you to, when you sign up to the study series, to have a set number of logins that you can share with your colleagues. Our plan is that it will not change the price at all. So the price is anywhere from $29 a session to $49 a session. And when you pay that fee, you still can show it up on the big screen or have colleagues join around your computer. But our plan is that that also will come with a set number of logins that you could share with colleagues. So if it's 6 o'clock at night and you're not all together, you still could watch at the same time. You also could watch on the recording. Another thing that we do to try to be generous and support your learning, that's our biggest goal, is that we support collaborative learning with colleagues, is that every one of our live sessions, after you watch them, are then available all the way through June 30th on demand. It takes about a week or two to edit each session because we like to clean it up, make sure that you get to the good stuff quickly, get rid of any oopses or pauses that might happen. But once it's posted, every one of our sessions is available for repeated viewing all year long. So an investment in the study series is really an investment in sharing professional development with your whole school. The other thing we love about the study series is they are members of the TheEdCollab that present, but we also have special invited guests that join us too. So for example, over this current school year, ones that are still available through June 30th, we had guests such as Harvey Smokey Daniels and Nancy Steinecke, Amy Ludwig Vandewater, Jeff Anderson, and we're ending in just a few weeks in May with an incredible poetry session that also will end the year with joy with Janet Wong. So you can learn from experts in rigorous, short, flexible ways that are available all the way throughout the year. So all information on the study series is available at learning.theeducatorcollaborative.com. Another way that you can learn online with us is our virtual think tanks. Our virtual think tanks are intensive, small group, always on camera learning opportunities that stretch across the school year. There are 5 sessions where instead of the study series where you can sit and take notes but also not be seen, so you can be in your pajamas or be drinking coffee or like grading papers and listening or whatever it is that you're doing. What's different is virtual think tanks are kind of like this. You'll join together, except for instead of it just being only me on the screen, it'll be you two and everyone else. So we gather in small online communities, usually through something like what you're watching now, a Google Hangout or a Zoom or something else where every member is on camera. We limit to no more than 10 people total, including the leaders. That small, intimate group meets 5 times across the school year, spread out about once a month between October and usually ending by May at the latest. Those groups then study one topic intensely and together throughout the year. Between each one of those sessions, you're invited to go back to your community and try out what you're learning and then bring that to the next session. So it's a continual, ongoing loop of learning all year long that is led by experts at the TheEdCollab. But again, we believe that you're all professionals. And when we come together, it's really a group of experts. So while we help to facilitate and lead the learning and share our expertise, as the group continues, it really is the work of the group that helps to push it forward. One thing that we do to really extend the kind of importance and place of that learning, and again, our biggest goal is really collaboration, is to include with every virtual think tank seat a free full year study series. So that's complimentary included as well. So while you might be engaged in a virtual think tank across the year with one or two of us as your leaders, you also will have access to the study series that you can share with colleagues. So the cost of that cohort is really a school professional development purchase. It's not something to be taken lightly. It's not a small amount, though for the intensive learning with one of us in this unique setting, we really tried to keep it as cost effective as possible. We want to both honor and support the work of our experts and to continue their learning and progress while also trying to be cost effective for schools. However, it's not something for everyone. It really is for a school that would like to make an investment in individual expert teachers who are looking for ways to outgrow their craft. People who really have learned a lot, you've progressed, you've attended lots of professional development with your school, perhaps you've even led professional development at your school, and now you're trying to find a way to grow even more. That's really who virtual think tanks are for. And then it's a school that is interested in making an investment in a key member and a valued member of their community in that way. So a seat to the cohort is $750 for the year. And that includes the $348 complimentary full year study series. Those will be posted again this summer, so likely sometime in mid-June, you'll see what our think tanks are. Applications for those will then begin at the same time, and they will close by August 1st. And you'll be able to learn more at learning.theeducatorcollaborative.com/VTT or virtual think tanks. If you go to that link right now, you can see this prior year's think tanks to get a sense of the sorts of topics that we share. And then just briefly, we do offer custom online visits. If you're a school that would like to bring in a member of the Educator Collaborative to do specific work, however, the cost of having someone come on site is prohibitive, or perhaps you just don't have the time for that during your school year, but you would like to bring in some expertise. We are happy to work with you, to work with your school, and also to work with your organization, your university, your conference to set up an online visit. Those can look a variety of ways, and we've done all sorts of stuff. So for example, I and other members of the TheEdCollab, we have done for local reading councils. I know many of you lead or are members of small reading groups, so you may not be in a, well, you may do this too, but there's kind of like national reading conferences like NCT and ILA. There's state affiliates, which are still usually quite large. And then many times there's local, smaller reading council communities. Those sometimes your budgets are small and it's hard to have some of us fly in. Sometimes you'll tack it onto something we're already doing in your area, and we love to do that. So please contact us for those things. But if you'd like to have one of us join your meeting, but it would be more cost effective to have us just join virtually, that's one thing we've done. We also have met with university courses that are, for example, doing work around like secondary reading. And you could have one of our experts join you to share some of our expertise and ideas, and even lead your group virtually through some exercises, or how to support writing with primary age students. We've done some work around that too. That custom work could be just an hour one time, or it could be several sessions in a row, or it could be during several after schools. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're in a district that has after school PD and you're a leader that has to set up that after school PD, and sometimes you don't know what to do to set up that after school PD, that might be a good option for you as well, that we could Skype in with you or Zoom in with you or do a WebEx with you. There's lots of different ways that we can join. So that is our custom on-site PD. Please just contact us again at our contact form, theeducatorcollaborative.com/contact, and there we are happy to speak with you. Then we also offer speaking engagements. So if you lead an organization, a reading conference, a large district that has kind of back to school days or perhaps days during the year where you like to provide high quality professional literacy development for your teachers, we are available for those. So we can do a variety of things, including leading keynotes and feature sessions, or half-day, full-day workshops. I won't spend too much time on this, but you can find that in our services guide that, again, we'll post both on the Gatherings webpage and on our website. But the main thing to know is that we again believe that when we're working with you, we're in the company of other experts. And we believe very strongly in both what research tells us about adult learning and what we've studied from that, but also just from our own experiences with adult learning and working with you in conference sorts of settings or workshop settings. Whenever you work with us at the TheEdCollab, I can promise you a few things. We will bring cutting edge research and foundational research. We will bring real life classroom practice because everyone in the TheEdCollab, all of our members are either currently working in schools or work often throughout the year in classrooms with teachers. None of us step away from kids and just make stuff up. We believe it would not be fair to you or to anyone. Everything we do is really practical and hands-on and comes from that experience. So it will be practical as well. And we hope and we aim to be inspirational. So time with us, we hope to make the most of your work and your time. So if you lead conference or a reading workshop or an organization or a large district or even a small district and you have and you'd like to have someone come for a keynote or even for a half day or full day workshop, there are many ways as we have here that you can connect with us. And then free stuff. We at the TheEdCollab believe in supporting collaboration and having ways that educators from across miles can work together, and not just across the United States, but really around the world. And we're so proud and happy that we have, and we plan to continue to support work in that way. What we most wish we could do is make everything free. But we know we can't because we also believe in investing in the learning, research, voices, and potential of educators that are and will continue to lead the future of literacy. So if we made everything free, we couldn't support the great work of our members and the people that research and present for you. So can't be all free, but it's for a good reason. That said, we still like to have free stuff. So if anything else on this list doesn't interest you or you're not available to, here are a few things that you can do to get to know us better, but also just to engage with educators from around the world. So this is a pre-session for the Spring TheEdCollab gathering. As you know, the gathering is a biannual, totally free, no registration, gigantic mega online literacy conference day. If you've never joined the TheEdCollab gathering before, you can join tomorrow, or maybe you are already if you're watching this recording. It is everything takes place at gathering.theeducatorcollaborative.com. I invite you to go there even right now. You can check the agenda for this Saturday in April. Then it takes place every year, every September and every April. We usually have educators from more than 20 countries who tune in, oftentimes in the tens of thousands of views across the day. It really is a global celebration of literacy learning that we are so proud to host. One thing I should add is the way the day takes place is because everyone donates their time, including our tech team. They are educators from around the world that volunteer their time to make the day possible. It would not happen without them. And it's just awesome. I can't say enough about what an incredible feeling it is to be a part of this massive day that's really kind of taken on a life of its own. And we're glad that we at the TheEdCollab could help support it. Another is our Global Kind Project. Our Global Kind Project, this was our second year of it. We plan to do it annually. You can learn more at globalkindproject.com. It's an annual 4-week self-paced study of kindness, gratitude, empathy, and action that uses literacy, reading, writing, technology to help you study different facets of kindness and then connect with other classrooms from around the world or within your community or even within your school to share what you've learned and really develop understanding and empathy across miles through it. We're so proud of the work of our social media interns who helped us create this project, and we look forward to hosting it again next year. If you are late to it, It's still up on our website. So even though the full run of it happened from Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the US up through Valentine's Day up here in the US, so it already officially took place. The self-paced study is still available on our website, and you could sign up even today if you'd like to do it at the end of the year. And then, of course, we have our community blog. It's a place where we post articles, important position statements, and other posts of interest to the educator community. And we're so glad to share it with you there. So those are a variety of ways that you can learn officially with the Educator Collaborative. And now I'd like to share one more that is totally brand new for us. And it's something that we're kind of excited about, and we hope you are excited about too. So drum roll. Well, maybe before drum roll, I'll give you a little background. So the Educator Collaborative, as you likely know, is an organization that really is its strength, and our work and our learning is really from our members. The people who you see on our website who are part of our membership community really make the organization what it is. Our learning, our vision, our focus has come through our study together. While we provide lots of awesome ways of learning through our think tanks and study series and on-site professional development and speaking engagements, it's really our internal think tanks and our internal community that makes the TheEdCollab what it is and helps to shape our vision, our perspective on education, and our work together. Everything from our beliefs and literacy best practices to the absolute core of social justice and culturally sustaining practices and the work that we do, to the ways that we are responsive and reflective to the digital media landscape that our kids live in today. It all comes from our people. And how the Educator Collaborative has tended to work in the past is that it's kind of like by special invitation. We think about educators that we either know because of their prominence in publishing, in speaking, in other ways, or it's educators that members of our group have interacted with and worked with, and we kind of invite and ask and coyly think, would you join us? Is that something you'd like to do? And so we've continued to build our network in that way, and continue to grow along that path. We've been in conversation recently, and some smart things that were said, because again, my colleagues are just the smartest people in the entire world. Some really smart conversation that started was reflecting on aspects of kind of privilege and opportunity, and really considering how, while of course all of us turn to people that we know and care about and have built a trusting relationship with and have really seen the work of over time, one of the challenges of that is that it means that we are literally building bubbles around ourselves, that we don't have access and opportunity to invite people that perhaps we don't know yet. Like, it might be some of you who have learned with the TheEdCollab and have attended gatherings and are, you know, around all the time, but we just haven't like spoken face to face with you before. Or we know you and we know your work, but we would never imagine that you'd ever want to be a part of this thing that we do, because it's a little bit odd what we're doing here. So what I'd like to introduce to you really comes from critical conversation and reflection that was led by members of our group. And we are really excited about to see where this will take us. For the first time ever, and we probably should have done this sooner, but now I think we're really ready to do it. For the first time ever, we'd like to open to the public the opportunity to apply and join the Educator Collaborative as one of our members. So to join our team, to join the people that you see when you go to our website, for example. So me and others. So the way that we're going to do that is through what we call the associate member. So the associate member position, we've designed this to be a rigorous one-year commitment. And during that one-year commitment, you will learn with and contribute to the learning of our organization. In other words, if you become an associate member, you will join our internal think tanks, where all of us smart, engaging people talk about education and problem solve and plan, and also problem solve and plan around the future of the TheEdCollab. What should this organization do? What should we accomplish? That associate, this one-year commitment, we really see as a year of learning. It's a year to provide you with a high-level opportunity to learn with our group, but also for us to learn with you. it also is an opportunity for you to get to know us and us to get to know you even more, or even if we already know you, to get to know you in this way and for you to get to know us in this way. What is it like to work with us and meet with us? The associate will be a junior role, junior member of the organization, somewhat like an internship, and will allow you the opportunity to work closely with us, help us lead our thinking and work forward. And in turn, we believe and hope that this opportunity will provide you with a memorable and long-lasting experience. To be an associate, we are going to post shortly, although it's actually already on our contact form, but we'll post additional links and place this on social media tomorrow during the EdCollab gathering. To be an associate, there are a few steps. First of all, you will fill out an application, which is on our contact page. If you go to TheEdCollab.com, there's a little drop-down menu. You'll click Apply to be an associate member, and there you'll see a variety of questions. Some are short answers, some are logistics. You also are asked to upload your resume or CV. When you then complete that step, we'll review all applications. Those are due by, oh, I want to say May 20th. Ooh, it's on the website. It's whatever Sunday is around there. It's like the Sunday after Mother's Day. Applications are due at that time by midnight on that Sunday. We then will review them internally and then invite some of you for interviews. Then through those interviews, we'll then make some selections about associates. And I realized that I closed something I wanted to have open for you here. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to open it right now. So being an associate member is purposefully built and designed to also be very rigorous. It's something that we want you to feel like almost a little bit like, phew, what did I just do? Like that, wow, I was really involved in something. But we hope that that also supports you in your learning, growth, and practice. At the same time, we really are inviting you, again, it's kind of been my theme this evening, because we know that you're incredible professionals who love to learn and grow, and we want to learn with you and from you. So it's something that we're going to ask a lot of you, but that's because we want to learn a lot of you. We want to help you develop and grow, but we also know that there's a lot we can learn from you too. So this packet will be available by link on our website shortly, but a couple of key things to point out to you. So this paragraph right here. So the rigorousness of the associate. If you're selected to be an associate member, there are a few things that means. One is it's the opportunity to learn with us during our think tanks. You will commit to joining for a minimum of 8 online network think tanks. Those are our meetings that are held internally, the ways that we lead together. You will write a minimum of 4 posts or articles for our blog. That's something that is an expectation of all members of our organization. And that's a way that we can both increase in practice and work on our writing, because when you post with us, I or another member of our organization will kind of serve as your editor, will help you think about your voice and your process and what you're doing, and we'll post those publicly. We also see our blog as a way to just celebrate smart thinking, so you'll appear on our blog in that way. You also will automatically be accepted to present at our gathering or to be a tech team member. We'll expect that you'll do one of those 2 things. You'll either do a presentation session at the gathering or you'll be a tech team member. We give that to you as again, both a thanks for being a part of our organization, but also because, again, we want to help you push and grow. So those are expectations around being an associate member. By being a member at this level, as a junior member of our organization, you get to learn and work with all of us. You get to appear in all of those different places. One thing to note that you'll see in the packet as well is during the associate member year, again, we think of that as a rigorous learning year for you, that we, during that year, do not purposefully won't provide consulting opportunities through our organization. If you have others that you're doing outside of our organization, you certainly can. And the thing that I love about the EdCollab, and kind of one of the, if I'm just like personal for a moment here, one of the hopes and dreams that I had with the EdCollab is that it would support the growing voices of engaging, brilliant, amazing literacy educators to help you make a greater impact. And in many ways, that continues to happen for our members. So while we won't directly be providing consulting opportunities during the associate year, people are going to see you, and so you might have some yourselves too. But we really want to focus on that as being a year of learning. At the end of your associate year, again, it's a year of learning and a year for you to get to know us and us to get to know you in this particular way. Even if we know you, it's a way of like working with us in this way. At the end of that year, you then could be invited, if you would like to so choose, to continue another year as an associate or to join us as a full member in another way. A couple of things to note around that. Even if we know you, or even if you know us and we're just getting to know you, or even if we don't know you at all, it does feel like it's important to take this time not only to learn together with us, but just to see, is the pace and expectation of the Ed Collab right for you? Because it may not be, and that's okay. That's part of what this learning process will be. All of us are extremely busy. All of us have every single minute something to do. The time that we meet tends to be in the evenings because that's when everyone else is done with their day jobs. So it does mean prioritizing working with the Ed Collab during those 8 or more, if you'd like, times during the year. So that is something to consider. Is that a priority you could make? And sometimes you only know that by being a part of it. So we hope that the associate year offers that opportunity as well. So as I said, it's something brand new for us that we are very excited about. I can't believe that we didn't consider this sooner, but it's a way that again, we don't want to create a kind of bubble around us, to limit ourselves to only the people that we know or that have directly expressed to us that they'd like to be a part of what we do. It really is, we hope, an opportunity to connect to more of you and to have you kind of raise your hand and say like, yeah, this is a kind of group that I'd like to learn with and I'd like to do some thinking with. And so we'd love to have you for that. So information about being an associate member, including a full packet that we'd like you to read and review, will be posted to our website shortly. It'll definitely be available in a number of places, including online during the gathering. You will then find the application to become an associate member on our website at TheEdCollab.com /contact us, or if you just go to TheEdCollab.com, you'll find, if you click on the contact us link, you'll see it there. So we hope that you will find many ways to learn with us next year. We try to give you a lot so that there's ways to connect. Our goal is really to support, love, hug professional literacy educators like you across grade levels, to help you collaborate and connect with other professionals like you across miles, to differentiate multiple levels of support from really beginning ways of thinking about the practices that we believe in and that we share, and supporting your school goals around that, to hearing from experts from around the world, either in person or through places like our study series, but also to provide opportunities for really experienced educators who'd like an advanced way of studying and growing, kind of outgrowing your own best work, finding a community of people, many of which are literally from around the world, outside of perhaps your own community, through things like our virtual think tanks or through this associate membership with the Educator Collaborative. And again, we provide this through a variety of different fee structures. Like I said, I wish we could do everything for free, but we've made a commitment that we also want to continue to build up and support the research voices, identities, and work of inspiring educators. And so doing everything for free means that we couldn't make that investment and commitment. So I hope you understand. So we have some that are available for school purchase, others that you could purchase if you'd like yourselves, and a variety of ways that you can learn for free with us. If you'd like to learn more, if you have any questions, if you'd like more information, you can find much more information about all of these things from our website, TheEducatorCollaborative.com. There you can also find a Contact Us page where you can just write a note to us if you'd like to know something. Our phone number is available if you'd like to call us and speak to someone. You also can email us at contact@TheEducatorCollaborative.com, or follow us on social media. You can post things to us on Facebook. There's just so many ways that you can contact us. So we are here for you. So I hope you enjoy the Ed Collab gathering, which takes place tomorrow. Or if you're watching this as a recording, it's happening right now. Or maybe it happened yesterday if you're watching this Sunday. I tend to have to watch things on Sunday. But we hope you enjoy the Ed Collab gathering. Thank you for all you do for your colleagues, for your students, and for this incredible profession that you've chosen to be a part of and that we get to share with you. Enjoy the rest of your evening or rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and we hope to stay connected. Take care, everyone.